Welcome, guys. We're going to talk about some awesome controllers that we have. A little bit from Riley's collection, a little bit from my collection, and yeah, we'll need you after the video to leave a comment based on what your favorite controller is of ours and what controllers you guys have, because we want to see yours as well. We're both kind of controller freaks and both like, I have a big controller fetish, so you'll see some of mine here shortly.
Oh yeah.
What do you got, Riley?
And well, I guess we'll start out with the, and it's so hard to choose which one to start out with. I guess I'll point this one out here, the Raiders PS2 controller, wireless. You know, it feels pretty good in the hand here. You guys will recognize this one from a previous video that we did. Harry hooked me up with this one. So, you know, it's super awesome. Awesome that they made limited edition football team ones. It's pretty sweet. So, yeah, I guess that'll kick us off.
Yeah.
Harry, what you got next?
Sweet, that's a cool one. One of the cool ones that I really like from the Wii is the Skyward Sword Wii remote.
That's
now, this is really cool. I got this from a friend that worked at GameStop. She said somebody traded this in, and she held on to it for a long time, and then she gave it to me as a gift because she's really cool like that. So that was pretty awesome. This is one of the coolest video game gifts I've gotten, and I'm pretty stoked to have the Skyward Sword golden Wii remote. So yeah, that's mine.
I guess speaking of the Wii, and I guess we'll mention the Wii U Battle Pads here. I've got the Samus edition, and then we also have the Metal Mario, and they also came out with Yoshi, Link, Peach, Bowser, Donkey Kong, Mario, Luigi even. I think there's
I think there's so many you can imagine.
Yeah, there's so many of these, and I just think they're super cool because they're personalized to the character, and you know, they feel a lot like a Gamecube, but you know, they're a little fatter, I think, but they're still pretty comfortable, and you know, I think they're super collectible. So
they're nice fight sticks. The Metal Mario one's my favorite with the chrome finish.
Fight sticks, that's what they're called. What do I call them? Battle pads?
I don't know. The same thing.
You guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, there's those.
That's cool, man. Another one that I recently picked up was I was at GameStop, and I always look through the pre-owned controllers because I have a controller fetish, as we like to say. I was looking through the Xbox One controllers, and for whatever reason, they happen to have a Project Scorpio controller in there, which came out with the Project Scorpio systems, where they only released a limited edition of them. And somebody traded this in. There's not much differences from the regular one. I guess all the buttons are black, and this isn't as white. But it's cool. It's just cool to have. It's totally different. I like the green on the black.
Yeah, that thing's slick looking. It's awesome.
But it's neat, man. So, the Xbox
That's
One.
Cool. Let's see here. I guess talking about Xbox, I'll just play off of your little guy there. I've got this Xbox 360 controller. Honestly, I don't even know what it's from. Do you have any idea what game this would be?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I don't even know. I found it at GameStop a long time ago. Honestly, I thought it looked cool, and it looks like it kind of has a wood, it's kind of woodish. I don't think those aren't scratches. I don't think. I think.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Huh.
So I was like, you know what, that's pretty sweet. I just grabbed it, and you know, I don't even know what game it's from. So.
Tell us in the comments if you know.
Oh yeah, if you can tell me.
We gotta find out.
Yeah. Let us know. Yeah.
That's cool, man. One of my favorite Xbox controllers for the original Xbox. This is something I bought from a friend. I don't know if it goes to a certain game or not. It's a third-party controller. But it's pretty sweet. It's this dragon controller for the original Xbox. So it's got this super long dragon tail. It's got all the buttons as you would normally expect. The other cool part is, if I remember right, when you have this in the game's live, its eyes and its fire-breathing mouth light up, which is really cool.
That's
For
awesome.
whatever reason, I'm totally into this third-party dragon controller. So this is definitely one of my new favorites. I was so happy when I bought this from a friend. And it's cool. it's very cool. So, thanks to my friend.
All right. Next up, we've got this PS2 wireless Nerf controller. It's kind of neat, you know. It feels like a Nerf like football, one of those Nerf balls. It's like squishy. I don't have the dongle, but I mean, I think it's more cool to look at than to play with. But
yeah, the feel of it's awesome.
Yeah,
it feels like one of those little footballs.
Yeah, it fits like really good in your hand. It's like squishy. So yeah,
I'm jealous, man. I gotta get me one of them. So.
Oh yeah, man, this is the pinnacle.
All right, so another one I got here from the Wii system. I believe this is one of those classic controllers that they bundled. I think some people think they bundled this with Skyward Sword, but I think it was actually GoldenEye on the Wii when they did a GoldenEye re-release on the Wii. I think that when you got it, you got the gold one with buying GoldenEye. So yeah, it's very cool. It's just a color variant. But I just like the gold stuff. I don't know why. I know it's fake, but it's pretty sweet, man. Especially with GoldenEye and the golden gun. Get the whole theme going, you know? So, anyway, if you see one of these, pick them up.
Alright, next I would like to mention here that we've got is the Virtual Boy controller. You know, definitely I guess it would be like a harder to find controller, do you think? Or,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe,
you have the whole, like, the complete Virtual Boy. I've just got the controller, but, I mean, it's harder to piece it together, I think. You have to find, like, the...
Yeah, Virtual Boy just never did very good, so it's probably hard to find, you know.
Yeah, so, I mean, you gotta get the stand for it. I mean, you can find broken stands, but finding one that's, like, not broken is pretty rare, and then you need to find the actual unit itself, so... I just like to highlight... or like mention this guy, you know, the Virtual Controller, that hopefully someday I can complete it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do up is, I have my favorite N64 controller here. This is the Donkey Kong Country Banana Controller. Mine's in pretty good shape. Sometimes the banana ends kind of rub off, but this is pretty sweet. When I found out that they even made this, it took me a long time to find a good deal on one, and these are just awesome. It's dumb because it looks like bananas, but to me it's really cool, and it's special, and holds a special place in my heart. I try not to use it that much because I don't want to rub off the paint, but man, it's just cool to have a Donkey Kong controller. So yeah, so that's that. These are really hard to find, so if you see one of these somewhere, pick them up.
Alright, speaking of N64, I found one of these online actually, and it's the LodgeNet Nintendo 64 controller that you'd find like at a hotel, you know, and you'd like order your room service or movies, and you can like control the TV with it or rent games and stuff. So I just always thought that was super weird that they would use the 64 controller of all of them, but I mean it's pretty neat. It doesn't even, you can't even plug it into an actual system. Because it's got like the weird, I don't even know what you'd call this at.
Yeah, it's like a phone line,
yeah,
like an Ethernet cord.
It's kind of neat, but I mean, it even says Nintendo, so Nintendo made these.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as far as
So-
I know, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but I mean, it looks legit.
Yeah, it's cool. I remember seeing those in the hotel room, so they were neat, man.
Yeah, I thought they just kind of played off the nostalgia.
Yeah, that's cool. Alright, so another one of my favorite controllers, of course, as we all know, I'm a big Fallout fan, so I gotta have a Fallout controller in here. Well, when Fallout 4 came out, they released a special edition controller for the Xbox One. Now, I don't have the wire in it right now, because it's hooked up to my system, but this is a wired controller, so don't get that confused. This is definitely a wired controller, but it's very cool. The feel of it's awesome. It's very rubbery. The feel of all the buttons, I like it better than the actual Xbox One controller itself. And then some of the buttons are kind of like shortcut buttons that they have on here. And I don't remember what all of them are. I think some of them are like mute and party and stuff like that. So you can be in a party with your friends or whatever. The other cool part is that they did only make a certain number of these, and they're all numbered on the back. Mine is 2332 out of 5040. So I don't know what those numbers are, but pretty sure that it's just a certain amount made. But I was pretty excited when I was able to pick this up in a lot that I found. So.
That's awesome that they numbered it too, so you know it's like an official like collector's item.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was so glad because I was so bummed out when I didn't pre-order one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was able to find this in the wild through Facebook, I jumped all over it. So yeah.
All right, so here's a little blast from the '80s. Here, it's the NES Max Nintendo controller, or Turbo Controller, I guess. It's kind of a funny idea, you know, they come up with. It has a little joystick on there, and like the little joystick thing isn't even like you don't control with it. It's more of like a rest for your thumb.
Huh. I have one of those. I haven't even used it yet, so yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's weird. You still like push the little buttons, but for fighting games, I'm sure it's slick because you can just slide your thumb around instead of like, you know, button mashing the whole time. You can just go like that. And then you've got like the turbo, you know, that spams the A button or the B button. So, you know, I'm sure like your shooting games, that would be super helpful. Instead of tapping it like that, you just hold that button and you're shooting like crazy.
That's sweet, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of neat to have like a turbo controller made for the NES.
Yeah, I like some of the controllers they did for it. The Max one looks really cool, and I like the little dog bone ones too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it even fits pretty comfortably in your hand too. So they did a really good job with this.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Well, and of course we can't have a very cool controllers pickups video without the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller. Now apparently they made this. Now this is a wired controller. I have the wires stored down underneath here. But apparently they made one of these for the Gamecube and one of these for the PS2. And it's meant to be played with the game. You can play it with any game, really. You can play Mario Party with this and just look really dumb. But you can do whatever you want. It's really sweet. It's kind of a weird layout. It takes a little bit of getting used to. I probably wouldn't play. It doesn't seem very practical to play Resident Evil 4 with this controller at all, really. Because it's just not. It just doesn't feel. Excuse me. It just doesn't feel right. So. But it's a sweet controller. It's got blood all over it. It's even got bloody handprints and fingerprints. And this is just like my favorite controller. It is so cool, man. So, yeah, if you ever see one of these, definitely grab that too. So, with that being said, comment and let us know what your favorite controllers are, because we'd love to hear. We want to hear if there's other ones out there that we need to be on the lookout for as well.
Yeah, and just, you know, let us know what you guys think. You know, keep collecting, like, comment, and subscribe if you like us or whatever. And we'll see you next time on Nostalgia Lane.
Yeah, see you next time. Say bye.
Bye, Kirby. Say bye, Kirby.
See ya. I'm working on it, man.